Who's your influence?
Well, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do biggest influence, obviously, is Steve Martin, but then the
Yes.
sub influences are like vaudeville and W.C. Fields. I mean, Steve Martin because he does a lot of
Yeah.
unusual, weird novelty tricks and bizarro stuff. When I was a small child, I was part of the Steve Martin fan club.
No way.
I have a certificate. Sometimes I put it on my Instagram to make people jealous. It said Steve Martin is a close personal friend of mine. And I often wonder, I have a Steve Martin binder with tons of memorabilia from when I was in his fan club.
Oh, wow.
And then I was in Florida, and I was watching him do the shooting of the movie Parenthood, and then I got a photo with me and Steve Martin, so it was very exciting. And then also, I think I've said old-timey, long ago, vaudeville W.C. Fields, who we know as a funny movie actor, being mean to children. He is also an influence because I love being mean to children.
And you juggle.
I juggle. That's it. Steve Martin juggled. W.C. Fields juggled. W.C. Fields also does cigar boxes. And I do cigar boxes, and he does actual cigar boxes. Where a lot of jugglers today, they're fakes. They get boxes made to do cigar boxes, whereas W.C. Fields actually use cigar boxes, which I actually use cigar boxes as opposed to fakes that a lot of people use
They're
today.
charlatans.
Most of the jugglers today are charlatans, and I hear they're not good people. Most jugglers today, I'm one of the few that is a very kind and generous juggler.
You are a good
Most jugglers worship Satan, and that is a true fact. That's science. So those are my big two influences, but then I have a lot of sub-influences of, vaudeville magic people, like Penn and Teller I love, Harry Anderson back in the day.
So you've been wanting to do comedy since you were a kid.
No,
But-
that is
but that's-
incorrect.
But Steve Martin, you're going way back.
Yes, I was a
fan club.
fan. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah, there is a
I was an
difference.
introverted, shy hobbit troll, not being able to look girls in the eye, not being able to articulate myself in real life. I spoke to hardly anyone in high school.
Were you abused?
I wasn't abused, but only by myself. So sometimes I'd have to give myself a talking to because of my self-esteem. No, my parents were lovely people, but I just was socially awkward.
I was too. I still am.
I was very socially
Yeah,
awkward.
I could feel you still are too.
And so once I got into high school, I decided to try it for the school play, got in the school play, and then after I left high school, I started practicing novelty tricks, and for 2 years I just practiced, didn't really have a lot of friends. Then there was a big thing. I was walking through our small country town in Michigan, said, do you have any talent? Do you want to be part of the talent show later today? And so, yes, I do. And I did 5 minutes of little tricky tricks. I juggled a bowling ball, a hatchet, and some other object, and did something with a tennis racket, jugglery-wise, and I won $25 first place. And then I saw Blade Runner. And it was very exciting, and that was it. Then I would go to little talent shows, and then I...
How old were you then?
I was 20. I believe I was 20.
Okay, so you've been doing it a
Yes,
while.
yes. No. I've been doing it many years. My last day job was 1983.
Oh my gosh.
So I haven't had a day job since 1983.
And this is what we were talking about earlier, is you have a family. So the fact that...
I do have a family.
How do you deal with all that?
How do I deal with a family?
Well, I mean, because doing stand-up or comedy and performing is not always like a 9-to-5 job. You don't get a check every week.
But the greatest thing is it is not a 9-to-5 job. So I take my kids to school. I pick my kids up from school. Also, I've constructed my career to kind of stay in LA the best I can. Like, I've done probably 50 or 60 TV commercials. I also do a lot of shows like at the Parks and Rec. Libraries is one of my big clients. The Magic Castle in Hollywood, I appear there 2 to 3 times a year. Hermosa Beach Comedy Magic Club, I do 20 days a year there. Here at Flappers Comedy Club, I have my own show, 2 Milk Minimum. And so here I do a lot of shows.
Show?
Yeah, I started that show.
That's great.
And so through all of it, I only have to go out of town probably, like last week, I went to Amarillo. I got up, flew to Amarillo, did the show, got up the next morning and left to come back home.
Oh, nice.
So my kids, I'm home more than normal parents,
Wow.
which is great. And the wife does voiceovers, and so, we make it work in
Wow,
that
it's
way.
like you've tailored your whole business.
I have constructed my life to stay in town unless it's a good money show. And the only time I went away from, I did a Disney cruise which was horrific. I just am not a fan of the cruise thing.
Yeah, I don't.
It was like 1,000 honey boo-boos running around the deck. Moms were drinking at like 8:30 in the morning. Screwdrivers reading 50 Shades of Grey in front of their children. It just seemed like some kind of bacchanal with Mickey as the ringleader. So it was just a horrific thing, and I was just on a boat for 10 days, very claustrophobic, and so I was not a fan.
I'm scared of the water, so.
Yeah, so, but mostly I construct my career in town. That's how it works with a family. It's not as peculiar as you would imagine.
No, it's great. It's amazing that you have set it up like that, because I know you're busy all the time.
I'm busy-ish. There, I could always fit more stuff in, but I'm busy-ish.
But like the shows, a lot of you, I know you do kid shows and then you do adult shows. Do you have hecklers? Or the kids?
I have many hecklers. You can go adult, kid, everything, but everybody has hecklers. I will give
worst?
you the one that I would say is this will be a double answer. The worst show and the worst heckler. I'll go worst show first. Was an Armenian christening. I was doing a show at Flappers, and this woman, she loved my show. The audience loved it. She said, will you do my kid's christening? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And it was from where we're sitting right now. It's about a mile that way, everybody. Mm-hmm. And it was at this big thing, and it was very Armenian. The kids were there, the adults were there, and they introduced me in Armenian, which I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
It was like David Letterman, Sesame Street. Please welcome Michael Rayner. Now here's the thing. It was weird because as I was starting the show, I threw out a juggling ball for like a kid to throw back later on, and another Armenian kid came up and punched him in the gut and took it away. I said, is this normal? They go, yeah, that's normal. Don't worry about it. 10 minutes into the show, all of a sudden a guy is right next to me and he goes, Michael, parents want to dance now. Go to back room with children and finish show. So I gather up all this stuff. We go to the back room. Nobody's there, but it's like this 250-pound black security guard. Next thing you know, the kids are grabbing the hatchet out of my bag. Their other kids are jumping into my wheelbarrow and crashing into walls. And the security guy goes, you got this, bro. I don't know what to do, bro. This is all you, bro. So I just kind of gathered the dangerous stuff and let them have anarchy. And it was awful. And then the dad just came off and peeled me hundreds to pay me. And I felt like such a prostitute. I did tricks for money, and it was humiliating. Second was at a Chabad center once. A little 8-year-old girl threw a juggling ball right at my glasses, and it pushed so hard that it cut into my glasses, cut into my nose, and I started dribbling blood during the show.
Oh my God.
And the kids are like, are you bleeding? And I said, yes, I am. Enjoy the show, everybody. And strangely, my kids had to go to that show because it was an emergency show. Somebody called, said, we need entertainment for this thing. I said, I got to bring my kids. They said, fine. So my kids were like, you were bloodied at a show. I said, yeah, but I got the money. So
I can't believe that.
yeah, it was very bizarre. That show also, we had to stop like halfway during the show because Rabbi Shlomo came, that was the dad of the rabbi that booked me. So the rabbi that booked me says, can we stop, Michael? Rabbi Shlomo here, my father. Everybody say hi to Rabbi Shlomo. And so we all said hi to Rabbi Shlomo, and then we continued the show. So it was the first time I was interrupted by an older rabbi during the show. So those were two bizarro shows that did happen.
That's kind of weird. Like they wanted to see the rabbi, or they just wanted to say hi to him.
Everyone wanted to say hi to Rabbi Shlomo because he just got to town or something, or just came to visit his son. I mean, it's just, I do a lot of Chabad centers. I do a lot of, I do everything and everywhere, everything, whatever people ask. If you have money, I will come to do a trick for you.
Have you ever said no, though?
Have I ever said no to a show?
Yeah, like what show have you?
I don't think I've ever said no to a show. Why? I don't think I've ever had a weird show.
Just when they're like asking you to do some off the wall.
Well, my friend Devin of Devin and Joel, you know Devin and Joel. Devin mentioned to me the other day that there was some kind of gay show that she does where all the men are naked. It's the largest gay nudist club. She's allowed to wear clothes because she goes and performs. Yeah. But if you're a man, you have to be naked. And she said she could get me probably several $1,000s. And for a minute, I was like, yeah, I don't care. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to be naked for my whole show. Because then when I'm juggling my balls, it would be kind of awkward. It would just be so
But you're
awkward.
a performer.
Yeah, I know, but I would be naked.
You'd be... But she wore clothes.
She gets to wear clothes because she's a girl. Because it's all gay men
Oh,
nudist club.
so if
but the
you're a
women can wear
man,
clothes.
you
But if you're a
have to
man, you have to
wear-
be naked.
Oh, gee.
And I was like, I don't know. I think at once I was like, oh, if it's good money, why do I
Yeah,
care?
yeah.
I'm like, no, because one, in the day of cell phones, obviously, with cell phones, no matter if they have some kind of no cell phone, there's going to be a way all of a sudden I'm on BuzzFeed and there's a humiliation and my children are disown me because of my appearance at a gay nudist club. So I think I said no. I did say
Good
no.
for you.
Yeah.
Good for you, because a lot of times,
Yeah.
well, I don't say no.
There you go.
But it's interesting. Like the one time you said no, you had to be naked, and it's usually the other time way around. You know, usually
Oh,
the
that women have to be naked?
Well, you'd think, like in the movies, they always want your top off and stuff like that.
That's right. Yes, but not me.
Well, good for you. You have morals.
Not morals, just humiliation. I have body humiliation, body dysmorphia. So, I saw the question you asked me earlier. Do I have any strange tweets or Facebook messages? And that really made me think, because I don't think I've ever had a strange tweet or a Facebook message, and now I feel kind of terrible that I have never been the victim of a strange tweet or Facebook message.
Really?
Maybe it's indicative of women, comics or performers. They're always getting lascivious men saying stuff. But I can't even think of any strange tweets.
You don't get mean fans, or
I've never had a mean fan. What I have had, if this might help out,
yeah.
I'm gonna get to you this. I have Googled myself, as we do in
Oh, yes.
performing, and then in a deep Google search, and I'm not talking first page, second page, third page. I'm talking like when you get to like page 22, and
I've
I
never
went
made it
deep.
that
I went to deep Google
Were
search.
you sober?
Yes, I was sober because I want to know what people say. Because
Yeah.
you have
You
to
don't
go
need
through.
to explain it to me.
Well, there's two different things. There's the people that are you, but in another country that are not you. Like there's a Michael Rayner,
Oh.
photographer
Oh,
in
I
Australia.
don't have that problem.
There's a Michael Rayner who at one time, IMBD, had him married to my wife, who is an opera singer or music hall singer in England, and my wife's British, so they had hooked them up, and he's like 70. And
So you have
so,
to. It's okay.
So, deep Google search, I had somebody say, "Can you believe that nerd that spun a cheeseburger on an umbrella from 30 Seconds to Fame is married to Maura Quirk from Nickelodeon Guts?" Because my wife was on a Nickelodeon show. Then they had to figure out, who's Maura Quirk married to. Then they found me. Then they did kind of went through all the possibilities who I am. Found a clip of me on 30 Seconds to Fame. And then they wanted to say something disparaging. So that was a deep search.
That is strange.
But
That's really
people
strange.
contacting me just regular, no strange tweets.
That's strange
No
to me,
strange
though.
whatever.
Like, well, it just affected you. It affected you. Because
Well, yeah.
You wonder what did people do with their time? Like, if they have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He had to really search out that I was married to Mo from Guts. There was a lot of time he put into hate me.
Yeah,
So
that's strange. That
it
counts
was
for
quite
sure.
quite a search for him.
Yeah. Any others?
No, that was it. Luckily, I'm so unknown that it's not enough people to hate me. I feel that success breeds a little bit of contempt.
Yeah.
And right now, my success is in the phase that only people that like me say things about me.
Yeah.
I'm not successful enough to have haters yet.
Yeah.
That's the sign of success. Once you're big enough to have, really, people know you on a national level, that's when your haters
Yeah.
come out.